Welcome to Miss Smart Muses, where everything is awesome. You know what else is awesome? It is A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is probably the best fantasy television that we have seen in years. It is years. I can defend that because I know some people might have some arguments about some of the choices that were made in the show, but that's what I'm here to talk about, defend, and maybe talk about, and then talk about some more. Because guess what? I love the show more than life itself. It caught me completely off guard. I was very cynical. I was like, well, fine. Well, we all know what they did with House of the Dragon. We all know what they did with the end of Game of Thrones. And we all know that, the way that our fantasy is being done, there's no way they're going to do this properly. Now, all that being said, I have a real problem with this episode. But guess what? The part I have the biggest problem with didn't happen, and I can prove it. Well, no, actually, I can't prove it, but I'm minding my own business, and I'm like, I'm just going to pretend that flashback didn't happen. It didn't happen. So if you watch this episode 5, In the Name of the Mother, go from the beginning, flashback starts, skip, boom, go back in. It is some of the best television you will see. It is absolutely amazing. I also am confident that I can do that because, interestingly enough, the showrunner even said, what has he said? I'm angry. Or rather, did he say he was angry? I think the words he used were angry. I need to double check up on that. Actually, let me check the source on that. But he says, I understand why fans were angry. Maybe that was what he said. But we had to do it. He was like, he didn't want to do it. He said, I didn't want to interrupt it. Yeah, that was what he said. He didn't want to interrupt it. I mean, yikes. So I guess that they feel pretty confident in just being honest. Let's see. What does it say here? I hate that I've had to do a flashback at this point when everyone just wants a battle, but we have to. But I do think it stands on its own, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, it does stand on its own somewhere else. So listen to your Aunt Teresa. Just watch the battle from beginning to end. If you have the ability to do the proper editing, go ahead and do that. Oh my gosh, don't give me the idea. I just gave myself the idea. But I was on an airplane and all I did was watch it from beginning to end, the battle from beginning to end, over and over again on the flight. So if you're in the chat, hello, good to see you. Let's talk about this. It was amazing. It was epic. It was everything. Now, some of the complaints that I am very sympathetic to are that they didn't show some of the other fights that were going on. Like we didn't see the laughing storm laugh, which was very, very tragic, to be honest, because we really wanted to see that. And that's why another reason this flashback was ridiculous. So, all right, that's all I'm going to say about the flashback. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And hopefully HBO is going to listen to everybody for the next time. I have my own theory about why they had to do it, but we're not going to talk about it because once again, it did not exist. Oh, wait, it existed as a separate little short that they said, hey, here's something supplemental. Okay, that's how it exists. Yay. Here we go. Starts off with my man Baylor in the middle, giving them instructions on how to fight and everything. And my poor little boy, Raymond Fossaway, he throws up, and so does my dunk, but standing next to him is little Egg holding up his lance. I mean, come on, I just want to give him the biggest hug you've ever seen in your life. Both of them. And then he tries to say something to Dunk, and he just goes, Squire, my dance. And I'm like, bawling. Oh gosh, I just wanted to hug both of them. I love them so much. So in any case, then as they're going off, though, they do that little thing. He says, you better be back or you better not steal from me. I'll come after you with dogs. And Egg goes, woof. He goes, woof. Now, Sir Lionel goes total douchebag. Says like, oh, mother loved you best. I'm like, shut up, man. There are some really funny memes on the internet about he's jealous. He's jealous that now Doug's got someone else and the prince. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll explain it. Maybe y'all can help me. Look who's in the chat. It is Revenite 12. Woo! Try Teresa. I'm so happy with this episode. Yes. I mean, hasn't this been a revelation? Raymond facing his cousin with honor and courage. What a goat of an apple knight. Hell yes. And we're going to talk about that because I've been analyzing this like it's the Battle of Hastings. You can see them. Now, once you figure out what's going on, oh my gosh, he is beating the shit out of his cousin. It is so satisfying. He also saves Duncan twice. I mean, what a guy. Raymond, green apples all day, all night. You are the goat. We love you. You little cute little new knight. Like in the book, you also see for the first time everyone cry right before my man succumbs to his injury. He goes, Sir Raymond, my helmet, please. He called him sir. That's the first time he got to be called sir. Oh, I love it. Well, the way that they were all faced off was it was Arian versus Dunk, of course. It was Baylor versus my man. Oh, wait, both of them are my men. Makar, the hammer and the anvil going at each other. Oh gosh, this is when the anvil hit the hammer. Okay, let's all cry for a few minutes. It then had let's see. It had Lionel versus the King's Guard, which 2 thumbs up because we know that he wanted to have a go at them. I really like what they've done with Lionel. This is an example of how you can take what's on the written page and improve upon it. Then let's see. Oh yeah, the poor Darren, who just wanted to flop like it was the World Cup, had to be put past Sir Rayburn, the crazy dude. So poor guy. He's like, I didn't sign up for this, but oh well. And then the other guys were against the King's Guards, and they didn't make it at all. Humphrey and Beesbury. Now, Beesbury was killed instantly in the version of this show. So is the other guy, but he died later of his injury, Sir Humphrey, but I understand why they just, for brevity, went ahead and changed that. We can handle that. Yes, we can, precious. Let's see. Baylor, what a man. Hell yes, hell yes. He calls Raymond sir and compliments his brother Maycourt just before his demise. I know. I mean, let's all just cry for 10 years. He's like, yeah, he's strong. The actor said in an interview that you could just feel the love in his voice there. It's like he's proud of him. And it was okay because in fights, people get hurt. And he said he was imagining that it was reminiscing of back when they were kids and they used to beat the crap out of each other and be proud. It's like, oh yeah, man, you got me good. The king who never was, the king who should have been. Hell yes. Oh gosh, don't you dare make me cry. I mean, I was so nervous. I felt like Dunk when he was so nervous he hurled. Now I didn't hurl because I'm a lady. Ladies don't hurl, but my stomach was in knots. My stomach was absolutely in knots at the beginning of this. Now, this was some of the best, just duking the shit out of it. Best medieval hand-to-hand combat I've seen. Perhaps the closest thing was the last duel, but hell, that doesn't exist because there's only this now. There is only Dunk and Egg and my man Dunk. Well, I was going to say there was Baylor, but well, hell. It's so funny. A lot of people aren't getting why we're calling them DILFs and all that. It's like, you don't understand. We love him and we love Makar. The history behind the two of them. And oh gosh, can we just pause for a minute when Makar is going, my boy, my boy. Now, we know he's a piece of shit, but it's still his son. And both Baylor and Lionel together have to physically hold him off. Revenite says, you know what pisses me off, Teresa? The casuals who don't see the details, don't know the intricate details, saw how many people call Makar evil or they have a go at home. Oh, hell yeah. And there's some really good have a go at him. Yes. There's some really good memes out there where people are saying, you get Makar's name out of your mouth. You don't get it. Yes. So that's how they're all lined up. They charge. First of all, how cool is that? Just seeing all those horses charge. We know that, of course, it's stunt doubles. It has to be. All those actors would get killed. It's very dangerous what they're doing. But just like in the book, it's full of fog. It's full of mud. It's gray. And thunder doesn't move. they kind of changed it a bit. In the book, it was Sir Duncan the Tall, my man, who goes the up, up, up to Thunder to get him going, I guess, where he was falling is a little slightly differently, but here they have it, it was Egg, and it goes back to where Egg was training Thunder in the field, something they added to it, which made it fantastic. He didn't mean to hit Baylor, and I know how bad it affects him after this. Not that I read the graphic novel. What a tragic story. Yes. Oh, the graphic novel's amazing. Yes, it did. His brother, Aaron, he says that his brother never got over it, that he basically died that day too. They were really close. He didn't mean to kill him, of course. And the real reason why he was killed was his armor didn't fit properly. So it was too close to his skull. That's how Dunk was able to take so many hits and not die, but the other dude did. And of course, it was very Shakespearean, very, very Cain and Abel, except without the acrimonious thing going on. All right, let's go ahead and let's look at some visuals as I go through this. Obviously, I'm not starting at the beginning, but look at this shot. You see my man with Arian, then the Kingsguard, and I believe that is is that the other Kingsguard or is that Lionel? Yeah, no, that's Lionel because Lionel spent the whole time, a lot of the early part, just I'm getting those, I'm getting those damn white cloaks, and eventually he will come to his aid. Now, even though they had Lionel be going a little douchebag on my man at the beginning, the whole mother loved you best. I also love the way Baylor just kind of ignored him. He fought alongside him. They were together. They were doing the 2-on-1. They were doing the 2-on-1. It was his son's armor indeed. Yeah, that's also where some of the memes are saying that he should have he should have had Patton Steele do it, but, I mean, who expected this to happen? Another funny meme we're gonna be looking at it is where people are like, "Worst birthday ever for the princess." Or no, she wasn't a princess, rather, for the daughter of the Lord. You know what shocked me was how many people have no idea that Dunk had no experience and just expected Dunk to wipe the floor with Arian. He's had royal training, and it showed, but people were shocked. Oh, yeah. He was green. He had never actually done it before. He was a squire. He was never a knight. He had no experience. And yeah, of course Arian would. And the point where Dunk really starts to beat his ass is when he turns into a scrape. Other analysis shows that once Dunk finally got an opening on him, there was no two ways about it, that he was a tank. He was a tank, and he just I mean, I was cheering when he was just took the shield and was just going bam, bam, bam. Yeah, you see the other fights go in the background. There was also a really cool shot where while they're wrestling, a broken lance just randomly falls on top of both of them like it fell from the sky, so you know it's coming from one of the other battles that's going on in the background. Dunk has the edge of the battle in endurance. That's correct, and that's where it went eventually. Yes. Yes, and true. From the time these guys were in their cradle, they had all the best. Arian is such a piece of crap, but spoiler alert, he helps the planet. He helps Westeros. He Darwins himself out of existence. I just think it's so epic. He's so crazy. He thought he was a dragon, so he wanted to bring back the dragons. They're obsessed with bringing back dragons. That's the whole thing with Egg when he does what he does to bring back the dragons at Summerhall. But in Arian's case, he drank wildfire. Like, dude, I'm gonna turn into a dragon. Here we go. And it's like, thank you. You just did the whole of Westeros a marvelous service, and we love you for it. Revenite says, "Oh, and some people not understanding armor and being like, how Dunk is still alive. He's wearing chainmail. Hello, yes, yes. So some of the times when it looked like Dunk was being stabbed, he really wasn't. Now, he got the living crap beaten out of him. He was bruised as hell, and it's going to take him a very long time to recover from it. Yeah, there's a lot of ignorance out there. There's been a lot of ignorance in general, but we don't worry about ignorance here at Miss Martin Muses. We worry about other things, like how big a hug do we want to give Dunk? All right. Oh, some people are talking about the last duel. Why is this showing up here? These aren't my bookmarks. Okay, let me get back to my bookmarks. All right. Oh, here's a fun one. In my Game of Thrones rewatch and OMG, Lionel Baratheon mention, yes, Lionel Baratheon, black of hair. Yeah. And oh gosh, and then my poor man Dunk, he gets hit in the head with no, he gets knocked off his horse in the first pass with the lance. His shield is broken. Arian, kind of looking badass, whips out the Morning Star and smacks him. And then as he's trying to get up again, my man Makar comes along on his horse and bam, gets him right in the head. And he was fighting for his son, and no shade there. It also shows that the anvil is a beast. Oh, here's a good one. Someone says, Dunk is so lucky that Makar did not get his hands on him. Yes. I mean, it took 2 full nights to hold off Makar and, trying to get his son, trying to get to his son. I mean, you cannot get between a man and his son, even a douchebag son. And at the end of the day, remember, this is Egg's daddy. There he is. Raymond Fossaway. And they're like, "Where's his green apple shield?" Yeah, this is where they could have, if they should have, and they should have had more time, and, but remember, it doesn't exist, so we're not talking about it anymore. Makar would have demolished Dunk at this point. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is one of my favorite thing that's been going around. Imagine just trying to host a cool birthday party for your teenage daughter, and now the heir to the throne is dead. 2 royals got mutilated, 3 nobles died, and the course of human history has changed. Darn right. And look at her face. I love it. Look at both their faces. Everyone in Westeros should just stop hosting family events, weddings, birthdays. Just stop. Here's a dude saying, last night I watched the fight in episode 5 and thought the medieval combat was quite refreshing. There will always be stuff to nitpick, but it's funny to see how far we've come. Years ago, true medieval lovers would stick their necks out and get bullying for suggesting that combat in fantasy world would look better with more historical technique rather than mindless flailing. We asked for armor that actually works. We asked for practical weapon design. We asked for HEMA techniques and half swording and mortal strikes. Now that we're finally seeing these things, the Hollywood sympathizers who used to bully us are being quiet because audiences are loving it, just like we knew they would. Yeah. So yay for all of the medievalists out there. Yeah, half sorting is a thing. Here's one of my perfectly favorite ones. Egg lived the dream every man secretly carries within them, the desire to yell at the ref so hard he actually does what you say. And another thing showing little Aegon with the axe. Egg was ready. Yeah, he's going to be a beast. He is going to be an absolute beast. Let's see. Mace versus armor. Can you imagine Dunk taking hits from Makar like Baelor? It would have been ugly. Oof. Yeah, he would not have made it. But MVPs Lionel and Baelor. Let's remember that they delayed A Night of the Seven Kingdoms by a year because HBO didn't trust it and didn't want to make the wait for House of the Dragon too long. They didn't trust Dunk and Egg. Yeah, what a bunch of idiots. I hate you, HBO, and you too, Ryan Condal, and I still hate Weiss and Benioff as well. Nobody cares about House of the Dragon anymore. That's right. Oh, yeah, and this is an overview of the combat of the trial by 7 and who has difficulty following along. Spoilers for episode 5. Yeah, maybe we'll go back to that. Let me see if I can go to the Reddit and we can do that. Here's a good one. From Aemon, Meister Aemon from the Game of Thrones, rather the Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones doesn't exist, the TV show. And my father, Makar, never thought the throne would pass to him, and yet it did. He used to say that was his punishment for the coup that killed his brother in Baelor. I pray that he found in death the peace he never knew in life. Oh my gosh. I want to see young Aaron. They can add that. Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my gosh. Revenite says, what do you think of people saying they wanted to see more clips of the battle and less flashback? I think maybe they could have done a tad more, in my humble opinion. Well, at the beginning of the stream, I kind of addressed that in the sense of flashback. That flashback didn't happen. Or if it did happen, it happened somewhere else. So it didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. There wasn't a flashback. There was just the trial of the seven, as it should be. Maybe cut a minute of Rafe part or a minute of him following through Ellen and have a couple minutes per Raymond Lionel. Yeah, well, you see, that's what was so infuriating about it on so many different levels. But as Ira said, he didn't want to do it. So I think HBO made him do it. Well, we know HBO made him do it, and he feels secure enough to say that. Oh, here's a hilarious one. Season 2 of Seven Kingdoms is going to open with a montage of various Targaryens biting it during flu season. Damn right. Damn right. Here, oh yeah, this is from the book, I believe. He could have defeated, or commentary. It's very similar to what's in the book. Maybe I need to get out the book. He could have defeated Sir Duncan the Tall, but he was powerless against Dunk of Fleabottom. The old man had taught him the sword and the joust, but the hand-to-hand combat he was now engaged in, he had learned much earlier in the dark and dispossessed alleys. Here's a good one. Arian, my boy. Meanwhile, Darren, yeah, flopping. I do have a meme of a soccer player flopping. Looks like heroism and hope is back on the menus, boys. Oh, here's a funny one. I adore Twitter. And then, yeah, Elrond. 2 thumbs up on that one. Let's see. Revenite says, oh, wait, he's already said that. Yeah. I mean, I've already here we go. Worst birthday in history. Here we are. The absolute legend just wanted to F around in a night's tournament, eat for free at the event, and ending up getting reported and caught in the biggest shitstorm of the moment. I get you, Sir Duncan. This is a translation from the Spanish. Yeah, look at my boy. Oh, I want to hug him. Here's a good one. Happy birthday, Gwyn Ashford, I guess. Wasn't it amazing, though, when he humiliated him, when he dragged him by the foot? Oh, my gosh. Hell yeah. They expected her to stab these guys. Watch too much Mary Sue. Yes. Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness they kept the vast majority of it intact. The flashback was good, but should have been half and link, really. And you know what pissed me off was people feeling sorry for Rafe. She was an idiot, and consequences happened to a little girl. Wow. Yeah. I mean, everything about that was problematic and wrong, and it didn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But as we know, they had to do it, which tells you something. The mystery of how a series so small in the spectrum that the Game of Thrones saga has us used to became so incredible in just 5 episodes. In just 5 episodes has an easy answer. There are heroes, and we live in a moment where we need heroes. One of the series of the year, without a doubt, easily. Series of the decade. And of course, I love the fact that so many people are surprised. It shows how ignorant they have been of George R.R. Martin's work. They watched the Game of Thrones TV show and thought that they knew his stuff. Here's my man. When I try to push the blame for leaving my brother in any random corner store to try to get out of it, and even then it still falls on me. Yeah, Darren, I love him. I love him. Here's a good one. I too would indeed rise from the dead if Egg was yelling at me to get up in his devastated little voice. Hell yes. I'm glad he managed to tailor in a way where it was bad, but the trial was still amazing. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, watch it, just the trial. Trial of 7. Call it a day. That's the way to do it. I've confirmed. Oh gosh, here's my man, my man. This is where he's showing his love for Baylor. No, rather for Makar. I wanted to jump off a cliff when he smiled and tilted his head like that. By the way, had to tell the world one last time how much he loved his little brother and how proud he was of his little brother, even when the brother in question gave him his mortal wound. My able variant. My brother's race, most like smiling. He's strong. Thumbs up for the performance by Bertie Carvel. I mean, I've seen him in some British things, but holy moly. Ugh, he's now one of my new favorites. I'm gonna watch some more stuff with him. He's done Shakespeare as well, of course. How Bro starts talking to me at 3 AM after 5 consecutive losses in a row. If I was Valar, I would have followed Arion to Lyce and drowned him in the ocean. Yeah, here we go. Oh, oh no. My man, my man. Oh, someone did a mix with My Way. Yeah, so they're beating the crap out of each other. You see the Fossaways beating the crap out of each other. You do see the Beesbury dude go down, or the other guy go down. I forget which one we actually saw go down. The moment where they're all up, 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 and it's gonna come back. Why did Star Wars come up on? Okay. Side note, this is the first time anyone has called him Sir Raymond, correct. The fact that Raymond knew instantly when Baylor said visor's cracked, because forget cracked, visor's not even there. He was losing his vision. He was literally standing on the last ounce of strength left in him. Oh, here's a good one. Arian Gucci down to the socks, and Darren looks like he desperately needs $4. Yeah, we're all in love with him. Yes, we are. Look at his face, though. Terrified. He's terrified because he has to fight, but terrified because he really believes that the vision is about him, that he's about to go down. He's about to die, even though he's going to try to throw it. I'm seeing Baylor tributes on YouTube, and I'm crying, Teresa. Darn right. Some of these performances are stunning. Yes. I mean, Dunk, when he kneels before him and goes, my man, I mean, your man, please, your man. Can we all cry? In the book, he says, my man, before he says, we need good men. I don't know why they cut that line. So confirm that he's going to take him. It's like, my man. But either way, it's still good. And he goes, we need good men. And he has his hand on his head. Like he's accepting. I mean, he was going to serve Baylor. And then, of course, here's Arian, the piece of shit. It was just so beautiful. And Dunk just punched his smug little ass. Oh, yeah, here's that moment. Not my son, not the prince, not even Arian, though he did say Arian. He's calling for his little boy. Someone give Makar a reason to smile. Yeah, look at this moment. Holy crud. You see, as he's running toward him, that both of them have to pull him off. And yeah, he punches his brother Baylor. Lionel comes up. Boom! He kills the horse. And then Lionel, like a beast, gets up, and Baylor, and they tag team to try to pull him back, and then they start going at each other. Yes, yes, please, someone give Makar a reason to smile. Darren, what a tragic soul, but we love him. Yeah, especially when you consider this dude's a dreamer. That's why he's a drunk. I probably would be too. He just is trying to hide from these demons, and there's nothing he can do about it. I need next week to see how they wrap up the season. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. They spoil those things on the previews. I went ahead and watched the preview, though, because I had to. It looks like they're going to draw out the aftermath, which I'm all for. Yeah, here we go. They're confirming it. Baylor might be alive if he hadn't been wearing his son Valor's armor. The tight helmet ended up crushing his head instead of absorbing the impact. That is true. Here we go again. Imagine just trying to host a cool birthday party for your teenage daughter, and now the heir to the throne is dead. Oh, wait, we already read that one. Yeah, two royals got mutilated, 3 nobles died, and the course of human history has changed. Here's my man again. This is how that scene went in the book. Oh, yeah, I've read this 1,000 times. I made shorts as well. Yeah. So the prince's dream about the dragon's death wasn't true, unless, of course, Arion died. But he's still alive, isn't he? Yes, said Egg. You spared his life, don't you remember? I suppose I did. The memory of the fight was already starting to blur. There are times when I feel like I'm drunk, and others when my body hurts so much I'm pretty sure I'm going to die. Yeah, they gave that line to Dunk in the aftermath. Oh, wait. No, this was in that part. My fault. There just wasn't dialogue with Egg. They made him lie on his back while the others talked. He stared up at the gray skies, and it didn't seem to be midday yet. He wondered how long the fight had lasted. By all the gods, the lance drove the tip of the mail right into his flesh, he heard Raymond say. The only way to keep it from turning gangrenous is if get him drunk and pour boiling oil on it, someone suggested. That's what the Meisters do. Wine. The voice had a strange metallic tone. Not oil. That would kill him. Boiling wine. I'll send Master your own well when he's finished tending to my brother. Can we cry? So he saved his life twice. Saved his life twice. Revanite says, Baratheon and Targaryen tag team didn't think I'd see the day after Renly and Jon's butchering and what in Game of Thrones. What a pleasure it was to watch. Yeah, how epic. Yeah, a Baratheon and a Targaryen tag teaming. For Dunk, all for Dunk. Yeah, I've already talked about this, so I'm gonna go back. Whoops, shoot. Now I'm gonna have to go back to through all of these. I hate my life sometimes. No, I don't. I love my life. Let me go back and find those and get this off the screen. Let's go to me. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what we saw. Again, we wanted to see him laughing, but I guess since it was from his point of view, rather, we wouldn't have heard him laughing. I don't think that he heard him laughing in the actual battle, but we did hear him laughing, Lionel, during the jousting part, but I guess they didn't want to show it too much. It was pretty clear that there were stunt doubles, and once again, no shade. Please have stunt doubles. It was too brutal, and frankly, I just don't think it could have been safe if they had not had stunt doubles. There is just no way you could do that. I mean, they'd kill all the actors for crying out loud. Oh, boy. I'm just gonna cry. Okay. Oh. Yeah. All right. I found where we were in the bookmarks. I'm going to go back. I'm sad we got to wait so long for season 2. I'd trade House of Dragon season 3 for it, but that's not an option. And of course, they won't listen to us because House of the Dragon, it's dead on arrival. So many comments about, yeah, faithful to George's book. George is great. He's great to work with. This is what happens when you actually go along with what he's written. Crying out loud. And we can just transfer that to everything else. It's like we don't need dragons. We don't need CGI. I mean, the only real CGI that you're seeing in this is occasional backgrounds and things, but we don't need it. We just need a story, and we need heroes to cheer for. It's like 20% chance House of Dragon season 3 will be good. I've lost faith. Oh, less than 20%, 0%. It's dead on arrival. I mean, I was cautiously optimistic because I'm like, okay, some of the things that they really messed up in season 1 won't really be a problem because we're just going to go straight into the dance of dragons, the dance with dragons. And of course, no, they couldn't just do that. They couldn't just print money. They had to do everything differently because they were so upset Matt Smith got all the attention, and so did the other guy, because they were great and a better and more compelling story, and they were too afraid to write Alicent and Rhaenyra in the coolest way possible, how they were presented. And then they had the nerve to cut Nettles. Dead on arrival. They are going to butcher it. Yeah, they already have. It wasn't even the death scene itself. It was Bertie effing Carvel and that interview that ruined me. What do you mean his childhood was flashing before his eyes and he and Maekar were just sweet summer children in the training yard again? Let me jump off a cliff real quick. Critical drinker, and people still loved it. All the fancy visuals in the world are no match for likable characters and good writing. Yeah. Yeah, they said we have about a quarter for every dollar for a Westeros minute of previous shows, so we had to be careful how we hid things. Yeah, it was great. It was absolutely amazing. Sir Duncan was exhausted and battered and bleeding, and yet he still pushed himself off that wall to kneel for Baelor and call himself his man. And then said man died in his fucking arms. Yeah. The Beesburys. House Beesbury always in the right side. Yeah, let's have a moment for Lord Lyman Beesbury. Called out the Greens for usurping Rhaenyra, and Humphrey Beesbury joined Duncan's side during the trial of 7. Both were killed by King's guards. But check this out. What a mustache. I haven't fact checked this, but I believe it's true that it was his wife or he was the brother-in-law of the other dude's wife. But either way, a widow lost her husband and her brother that day. Yikes. It was horrendous. Girl, the prince just judged that you're a Sanguinara. Tansel would be proud. Yeah, revenge for Tansel. I mean, they might get some stuff right, but it will be dead as a collection. Oh, yeah. Well, what can they get right? What literally can they get right? They can't get the Battle of the Gullet right because they've changed one of the admirals up. The children are too little to do what happens in that battle, and no Nettles. I still say they're going to give the Nettles role to the boys' role to not Nettles. It's just dead on arrival. It will be flashy and meaningless. Yeah, they wanted to make Wicked for good. It's ridiculous. Get yourself a hype man like egg. Up, up, go. Wait. The best weight on the planet. Bro was only there to save face. And he looked so magnificent doing it. I have got to so get a girl with me on a stream. Here it is. Oh, here it is. The exact moment when Maekar beats Baelor in the back of the neck. But you see how desperate he is. He's almost flailing, but he's a beast flailing because he's so disciplined. He's going for his son. And I think that's when he knocks off Lionel's little antlers too. I mean, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. I mean, blink and you miss it. But you can see it. What a great 2-on-1. I mean, so good. And I don't know if I can find footage of the apples beating the shit out of each other. But I mean, Raymond, he's been waiting for this moment all his life. Oh, so good. Oh, wait. Did I not share? I'm not sharing. I'm talking, but I'm not sharing. I am a terrible woman. Let me share. Here we go. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it just hurts. It just hurts. Here we go. Let's watch it again. But look how hard he's fighting Maekar. And boom. He's desperate. Nothing like a father trying to save his child. Even a piece of shit child like Arian. I was wondering if you noticed. Yeah, I wasn't sharing. Well, this is more. We can watch this all day and cry. I cry for Baelor. I cry for Maekar. And even though Lionel was being super douche, for crying out loud, he still came and did the 2-on-1. He helped out Baelor the way that they were working together. I mean, my gosh. Yay. Oh, here's a good one. Wait, and it has a cat doing that. Oh, this is a behind the scene things. There's the guy, Darren, I believe. And you can see little Dexter in the background. Yeah, shout out to Arian. Shout out to Finn Bennett. Absolutely killed this episode. It's so impressive how he managed to make Arian feel both demonic and nearly as in over his head and desperate as Dunk. Yeah, he realized real fast. That's why he wanted this whole trial of 7. That he felt like that was a way to get out of it. A question, Teresa, does Sir Stefan not get his lordship? That would be hilarious. Oh, I so want that to be true. That would be. He goes up to Maekar. He's like, "Hey, remember?" And Maekar just tells him, "Fuck off," or just gives him a look, and he just kind of slinks away. Here's my man. Look at this. Look at Lionel Baratheon. And this showed you that you do not want to go up against him. He was one of the last people, if not the last person, I think, that had stayed on his horse the whole time until Maekar unhanded him. And even though these are the older guys, you see, man, experienced. You couldn't even beat your cousin, you useless apple. Damn right. That's Makar's response. Let's do it. It's canon. It's in my head. Positively. Wow. I'm so glad you enjoyed this, Revanite. I'm so glad we were able to catch you. Oh, look. Here we go. It's so obvious in this scene. Baylor is literally tapping him with a sword. Meanwhile, Makar swings like he's trying to break a boulder. Yeah. He's trying to get him and hit him, but not hurt him. I'd say it's a little more than a tap, but it's definitely trying not to be fatal. And then bam, he just swings, backhands him. Uh, he literally killed a whole horse and and fought both Baylor and Lionel just to reach his baby boy. Yeah. But, he's also father to his other children, and the fact that he recognizes what Egg wants. Egg's like, "I want a squire for my man Dunk," and offers him a place at Summer Hall. That's impressive. That's make her yeah, my gosh. Oh, yeah, here's another one with poor Gwen. Point of view, it's your birthday and your dad organizes a tournament in your honor, but they burst in and kill a horse right in the middle of the tournament. Yeah, that's one thing that sucks. And right after that, the crown prince of House Targaryen is killed in the tournament by his own brother, ruining your party and leaving you in shock. Hell yes. It's a birthday they're never going to forget. Here's some appreciation. Oh, they look so good. And yes, they do. Though Darren, all day. I like the whole idea that Darren's decked out in Gucci versus Arian. Makar was fighting for his life and still came running, not in answer to Arian Bright Flame, but to the sound of his baby boy crying out in pain. My boy, my boy. Lionel in the background having the time of his life terrorizing a King's Guard. Damn. And Quinn, the GM, saying the highlight of that trial by 7 by a mile was the constant drive-bys on horseback. Darn right. The Game of Thrones people checking in. How are y'all doing after last night? How do you think we're doing? Our guy is gone. The dragon helmet facing down. I'm gagged to say the least. Yeah, the poor guy, the poor bastard was staring down the craziest night in the 7 kingdoms. Some of the responses don't appear on your overlay, Teresa. Not sure why. Oh, you mean we're on the screen here? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, some of your responses. I have no idea. StreamYard sucks. Does Lionel grab Makar and he breaks away with his from his grip and flings his mace with added strength? Yeah, maybe. I mean, but definitely it finally came up the third time. Okay. Can I find it? Let's go back up and see. I don't want to bring it up completely because I don't know. Yeah, my boy, and they're holding him back. I mean, takes 2 beasts to hold back Makar. That's why he's DILF material too. Where is it? Here it is. He pushes him. See, he pushes him. It looks like he's just fighting. He's pushing. He means to do it. He just didn't mean to kill him. It's like, yeah, they're fighting hard, and he's trying to get these guys off him so he can get to his boy. The fact that he exiles that piece of shit after this, though, is pretty awesome. Yeah, look at this hit he does to, that he does to Baylor. Let's see if we can bring this up again. Then the whole my boy, yeah. Like, yeah, that's when he gets it. You see, oh, look at them in the background. He smashes in the face there, and then here comes Lionel, and then he kills the horse, and then, I mean, this is just peak fighting. My boy, my boy. It goes it's showing masculinity the way we love it. Come on. We like real men. We don't want soy boys. We don't want our men cucked either. Let's see. Nordporial is here. Hi, Teresa. What did you think of that brutal flashback? Get up. Well, the flashback doesn't exist, except for, of course, the get up part. He just happens to think of him saying, get up. Feels like he goes to grab Lionel and then he gets poked in the back, just swings with trying to get out of Lionel's grasp. Yeah, I mean, very much so. I mean, it's part of the battle. Let's see. I don't remember Dunk being as injured as he was in the Hedge Knight. No, he got beat up a lot harder, and the whole thing with him like being half dead and yelling "wait," but I'm perfectly fine with that. And they've already established that he is a monster, what half giant, and his armor is good. It's steely pate. If only my man had been steely pated, or had his own armor. I like that for once that Arian's crest had broken during the fight. That happens. Armor decoration gets trashed during combat, and it was used regardless. It's good to see that portrayed in media. Yeah, so his fancy little dragon stuff was all knocked up. Yeah, I think I've said this before. Yeah, the highlight was that. Oh, here we go. Was a missed opportunity to not show Darren getting bonked on the head, falling over, and napping for the rest of the trial. Yeah, I think maybe they didn't do it because they felt like it would be too comical and they needed to keep it serious, but we all know what happened. I think we should have seen Baylor's fight. Well, which part of it? Because we did see a lot of it. I like that he was hit more because that describes Dunk as a character endurance and area and superior training. Yeah, the fact that he had endurance versus that. We should have seen everyone fighting. Oh yeah, we definitely should have seen more. I mean, it's there if you kind of see it, but yes, it takes and it should have been more. I have issues, but it is what it is. Baylor's last words were bragging about how strong Makar is. Yes. Oh, someone says that this is Darren on the ground, but it could also be the Beesbury guy. Yes. Has anyone checked in on Darren? Oh, yeah. And they're now talking about the thing that Lionel said. I keep thinking about this line. I have so many questions for him. Like, why would you say that to a Targaryen? Why would you say that to a prince? Are you implying you have money issues as well? Yeah. Is he protesting too much? He has mommy issues. Or my personal favorite is he's jealous. Take half the flashback away and put Lionel Baylor, Raymond, and Stefan Exum. Yeah, definitely more of it. We only saw flashes of it, and we didn't get to see when Sir Raymond changes the color of his shield from a green apple to a red apple. And I think there was even a part where they're like, "Where's Raymond?" It's like, sorry, here I am. I was too busy painting it. Baylor Breakspear just died, and here I can't read this out loud. Here goes Lionel Baratheon's you know what ass. I made up that some random guy kidnapped my brother so it wouldn't be my turn. And in the end, it was my turn anyways. Oh, someone says, why did Makar bring his armor to Ashford? You're 40. What having Arian as a son does to an MFer. Darren with his first few seconds on the trial. Diva down. No, he flopped. Aegon just fulfilled the greatest fantasy of every man, yelling at the ref so hard he does what you say. Oh, yeah, here's where Joffrey spoils what happened with Duncan and what happens with Arian. I love it. Joffrey's the biggest spoiler of all these things. Lionel projecting, perhaps. I see. This genre actually listen to George and everyone is wearing helms and armor. Yes, I love the chunky, clumsy, heavy armor fighting. Ever see the Polensky Macbeth? Maybe? I've seen the one with Mel Gibson. Is that the Polinsky? I don't know. Darren. No, wait, that's the Mel Gibson one. Never mind. I don't know. Help me out here. Darren armor looks like little planks of wood in it. At least armor here was not treated like butter where it can't defend a paper napkin. Yeah. And I think that that's why some of the ignorance that you're seeing around, like, oh, that wouldn't work. It's like, dudes. Here we go. The real MVP of the Trial of Seven, because Dunk's armor was the only thing keeping him from reuniting with Sir Arlen. Damn right. And he was the one that helped out my man. Oh boy, here is a deleted scene that they didn't have. There was a moment where it was like a fleeting moment that we shot, which was the moment where Makar strikes Baylor and the moment just leading up to that with the brothers. Where is this deleting scene? I mean it. I need it. Well, yes, and for this, I will buy every DVD. I will sell. No, I won't sell my soul to the devil. I will come just short of that. He's so articulate in character analysis, he simply needs to play every single character ever. Darn right. Mel Gibson was Hamlet. Okay, yeah, but Polanski, I don't know which Polanski you're talking about. Okay, help me out here. Big up, Teresa, and chat time for bed. I'm up earlier for this week at work. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see you. So glad that we're all on the same page on this. It was a 20 out of 10 when you watch it the way I watched it after the first time. Have a good show. Thank you so much. Here we are. Polanski did an adaptation of Macbeth in the 70s. Oh, understood. Okay, thank you. Good night, my lord. Yes, good night. Good night in the future. We need to take a moment to mourn the real loss of the Trial of Seven. Rest in bees, my friend. Yes. Well, I don't know if you heard that they had an infestation of wasps when they were trying to film this. Here's a great one for Darren. He did not ask for this shit. Darn right. Cut the fucking camera. Just get up, sir. No, your grace. He's like, I'm sorry. Oh, unbelievable television. Need more. Yeah, look at that. He dragged that piece of shit through the mud on one foot. There's my boy. There's my little boy. And there's my man. Both my men. And oh, look at that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. Damn right. This man's been through enough and it's only just starting. Well, hello, everyone that's here. Please show yourself and let me know what you think of this episode, etc. And whether or not, well, you agree with me that there were only really 10 minutes episode. Everything else didn't happen. The last shot looked like a video game. Oh, interesting. The one, oh, I understand what you're talking about. Him and his damn outfit. Here we go. Everyone be kind to Makar. He didn't mean it. Holy moly, man. Here's my boy. That's my boy. Wait. And they all go up, up. Yeah, there's Gwen with a neutral expression on her face going, F my life. This isn't what my party was supposed to be. Or was it a great party? In her honor, they had the best show ever. Oh, the whole he's strong. Yeah, up, 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 up. Yeah, there was a line in the Hedge Knight that kind of talked about that, but this shows it, and I get it. My cutie pie was born to be Aaron the monster. There we go, being dragged through the mud. Hell yeah. Like, you piece of shit. The moment Huerto Escudero becoming the best no knight history in the best no knight in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah, look at that. And I think that that's a translation. Maybe that's how Dunk the Tall is. I don't know the language. Help me. Isn't that precious? All day, all night, I'm going to cry. Now, yes, I have a crochet pattern for Dunk. I have been told a way that I can do egg, and I'm just going to make outfit after outfit. And yes, eventually I will make 2 versions of Baylor. Let's see. Everyone's saying good night to him. We should have seen the newly knighted knight fight. You're talking about Raymond. Yes, we did see him, but blink and you miss it. And you see him just beating the shit out of his cousin. It is glorious several times. Has any other human ever had a bad experience with a single member of the cast of the Lord of the Rings film? Nothing will ever come even vaguely close to how special this cast in these films are and were. Technically, some World War II German soldiers probably didn't have a good day when they met Sir Christopher Lee. Yes, off topic, but there we go. Man, I wish they show more of Baelor and Makar's fight because this shot right here is art. Yeah, that's where he's grabbing around his waist. Yeah, I agree. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees. Someone goes, going back in time to give Sir Duncan the Tall a gun. Cosmic kite. Get up, sir, get up. Wait. My sources are telling me Baelor Targaryen is oh, wait, I can't go there. That's terrible. What if you were 17 and a squire, but your master effing dies, and now you got to pretend you're a knight, and a bald kid doesn't leave you alone, and you fall in love with a puppeteer and get into a fight with an evil twin, and the heir to the throne dies defending you? That's pretty much all of it. He saved me once with a sword and once with a word, and even though he was already a dead man when he stood there, the world made no sense when a great prince died, so a hedge knight could live. That's the world we are in, and it's pretty intense. Thank you for doing nothing, Brew. You're so good at it. Yeah, I appreciate him. The fear in his eyes is sending me a little poor baby. Darn right. Poor guy. Oof, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up indeed. I'll never be the same after this. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I can watch this all day. Him getting dragged like that. All right. Well, we're going to go through a little more detail, but let me go here first to make sure that they don't dox me like they tend to do. Like, oh, since you're right now at this exact place, well, and then say my name, my full name. So everyone can come and dox me. Let's see. Where is it? You can go play by play through it. Can't stop. Well, I love egg. I love egg more than anything else. All right. Is there I think it's safe. Scream if the bastards dox me. Let me get out of here. I don't think they will. Here we go. First of all, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And let's just say one more 10 out of 10. Continue with Google. I am logged out. All right, here we are. This is a play by play. So you can use this as a guide, kids, to help you out. All right. This is so small, I guess it doesn't really matter if I show it. So I'm not. I'm going to go back. So I think I can highlight it and read it better. At minute 3:02, the teams minus dunk charge. The initial matchups are Beesbury, Harding, and Lionel versus a Kingsguard and Knight each. Makar, I thought it's AR, never mind, versus Baelor. Dunk versus Arian. Raymond versus Stefan. Riesling versus Darren. Poor Darren. Of course, the guy who doesn't want to fight goes up against the most psycho on Dunk's team. That's true. Hell yeah. At 3 minutes and 17 seconds, Duncan begins his charge. Arian deflects Dunk's lance with his shield, shattering it. Dunk holds his shield at a bad angle, which lets Arian's lance slide down it and stab him. My boy. 3 minutes and 39 seconds, Sir Humphrey Harding loses his horse after a strong blow from a Kingsguard knight. As his leg is already broken, the fall and any wounds he may have sustained kill him here. Yeah, according to the show. He does die of this a few days later. Let's see. At 3 minutes and 43 seconds, Dunk drops his shield and takes a second pass against Arian with his longsword. Arian's flail dismounts Dunk and knocks him unconscious briefly. Next, because nothing happens after that except this. 23 minutes and 10 seconds, Dunk regains consciousness. By this time, Beesbury has, according to Raymond later, died in the first pass off screen. As Dunk turns away from the ground, what looks like Baylor, my man, from the shape of his shield is dismounted next to him on what's probably the second pass because Arian hasn't turned his head into a pile of mush. No. No, indeed. My gosh. 23 minutes and 23 seconds. Dunk turns his head to see Arian going for ground. Dunk rolls away to dodge the flail and regains his footing, but takes a second blow from the flail across the left side of his face. He staggers. 3 minutes 29. Makar, my man, rides past and strikes him almost immediately after the flail strike with a mace to the torso. Ouch. His father-son combo is pretty strong here. Yeah, 2 thumbs up there. Dunk goes down again. A Kingsguard knight in the background loses his lance against either Riesling or Raymond, most likely Raymond from the outline. It appears to be a solid helmet, which rules out Riesling's chain helmet and Lionel's antlered helm. But both Humphreys are said to be already dead. 23:34. Makar is not effing around. Oh, this is where I might have made a mistake about the brother-in-law. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Makar is not fucking around and goes for Dunk again, but Baylor seizes a lance and charges him afoot, dismounting him. Yeah, what a shot. What amazement. Behind this to the right, we see what appears to be Lionel, my man, and his Kingsguard opponent passing each other again. Yeah, these drive-bys are just great. At 38 seconds, Arian squares up with an unarmed Dunk and knocks him down with a blow to the leg and to the chest. At 23 minutes and 44 seconds, what is either a 4th or 5th pass happens, and the only error so far when 2 knights ride past each other without trying to strike one another. Not sure about that either. Arian goes for an overhand with his flail, and Dunk dodges to the side. And when Arian swings overhand again, Dunk comes up underneath it and grapples Arian to the ground. Arian does his best Duncan impression and feebly swipes at Dunk's helm with his shield. I think Darren has hit the wine harder than this. Dunk goes to swipe at Dunk's helm. Dunk goes to mount Arian, but Arian lands a solid blow with his shield to the side of Dunk's head. Arian attempts to follow this up with a grapple, but Dunk easily turns it around on him and finally lands his first solid strike, slamming Arian's head into the mud twice. Arian gets his shield up and uses it to lever Dunk's head to the side, then draws his dagger and stabs Dunk twice in the left thigh. Ouch! The chainmail catches most of the dagger, but Arian still draws blood with the tip. At 20 seconds, 24:20, Arian gets on top of Doug and grabs his helmet, then tries to stab him underneath his helm. Dunk seizes his dagger hand and holds it at bay till Arian manages to stab him through the palm with it. Ouch! My man. Oh. At 24 minutes and 31 seconds, the Apple Bro. I love it. The Apple Bro comes through again as Raymond hits Arian with his longsword while charging past, knocking him off Dunk. Yay, we love the Apple Bro. We see a brief shot showing 5 knights still a horse, both Fossaways, 2 Kingsguard knights, and Robin Riesling. Or it's Rising. I don't know if I'm saying that right. From a later scene, we know Lionel is also still on his horse. Stefan the prick charges Raymond as he recovers from striking Arian and lands a blow with his lance. But Raymond manages to still stay on his horse. Not bad for a squire, or a only recent squire, because he is now a knight, a real knight. Dunk and Arian recover. Dunk pulls the dagger from his palm and understandably, but perhaps foolishly, drops it. What looks to be Stefan landing a glancing blow on Dunk. who has been struck by nearly half the enemy team at this point. Dang, he's a tank. Never pl Can you imagine playing rugby with this guy? Well, I wouldn't, because I would never play rugby, I'm a girl. While Arion approaches Dunk from behind with his long sword drawn. He stabs Dunk from behind, but Dunk's armor protects him from the worst of it. Hello, everyone coming in. We love you all here at Miss Martin Muses. Let's see. Dunk goes to his knees, but finds his longsword, turns and parries Arion with it just a split second, puts Arion in a standing arm lock, then takes a blow from Arion's shield, which breaks the lock. This unfortunately puts Arion in the perfect position to receive what can only be called Dunk's magnificent bitch slap. Woo! Arion is knocked down, and Red, the prostitute from episode 1, is seen in the stands cheering for Dunk. Hello, General Grievous. Hello there. And hello, Bourbon Wolfswood. Was it a good birthday party? Well, from a Dothraki standpoint, well said. And thank you all for being here. 25 minutes and 3 seconds. Arion Boo is back on his feet with sword and shield as a Kingsguard knight has a mounted duel with Lionel behind him. Woo! I love Lionel gets his moments. Arion actually does a fancy parry into a spin that gets under Dunk's guard and strikes him in the right leg, his armor catching the sword. Then overhand strikes Dunk in the head, which staggers but does not knock Dunk down. Arion follows up with 2 more strikes before Dunk parries the third with his gauntlet. Dunk then delivers 3 successive 2-handed strikes with his long sword, each being caught by Arion's shield, but Arion is visibly struggling to withstand them. Yes, this goes to what Revanite was saying earlier, that his endurance is what also wins the day here. Everyone's saying hello. We love everyone here at Miss Martin Muses. Arion follows up with 2 more strikes before Dunk parries the third with his gauntlet. Oh, wait, did I already say that? I did say that. Oh, here we go. Each hit pushes him back significantly, pushes Arion back. Dunk lands 1 strike, but Arion manages to counterattack with an elbow to Dunk's lance wound. Ouch. While Dunk launches a kick that knocks Arion down. Damn right. Dunk is reeling in pain from the strike to his serious wound, giving Arion time to find his feet. During this entire exchange, Lionel, my man, and the Kingsguard Knight are circling and striking each other in the background. Bitchin' awesome. Dunk recovers and goes in with an overhead longsword strike, but Arion launches a furious series of blows that ends with 2 successful thrusts. This could sound wrong in different circumstances. Why, hello, Liam. Thank you for making yourself known. Great to see you here. We love this episode here at Miss Martin Muses, especially since it was actually a rather short episode. It was only 10 minutes after all. Again, armor catches them, but they hurt Dunk, and he's knocked down, rises to his feet, and parries another thrust from Arion, knocking him off balance before what looks like a Kingsguard Knight rides between them. I believe it is a Kingsguard Knight. I thought it was cool. Accidentally knocking Arion down. Arion then throws his sword blindly, and it lands in Dunk's right thigh, before following up with yet another 2 shield strikes to the head before he pulls the sword out of Dunk. Arion then thrusts the sharp pommel of his sword into Dunk's helmet visor, Dunk grabbing it in time to briefly grapple and prevent himself from losing an eye. Yeah, imagine if he had lost his eye. That would have been awful. 10 minutes, agreed. Yes, indeed. At 26 minutes, Dunk pulls off his helmet and swipes blindly at nothing. Oh, look at his eye. Stefan shouts something shitty at Raymond. Yes, and you can hear it. It's awesome. As Dunk charges forward with his long sword at Arion, who is still on his knees. And when I say awesome, because I love the fact that man just Raymond just kicks the shit out of him. Dunk lands 2 extremely solid blows and then deeply cuts Arion in the right thigh. That's when my man Maekar loses it. Arion, for the rest of the fight, is unable to walk or maintain a solid stance from this. At 26 minutes 20, Maekar sees what's up and calls out for his son. My boy, I love you, Maekar. Let me give you a hug. Because remember, his wife is dead and he had 6 kids with her and all that good stuff. Stefan shouts something. Oh, wait, I already said that. I'm so excited. He was dueling Baylor, who gets struck moderately but then flung to the side. Yeah, we already looked at that. Makar charges forward and Lionel gets to intercept. Makar does a combo of his brothers seizing a lance on foot and his son's horse stabbing to finally dismount Lionel. Yes. Oh man, it was so cool. Who appears to have been the last mounted knight. Lionel does throw himself clear, so he manages to avoid Harding's RIP earlier fate. Let me check the chat here. Okay, thank you, everyone. It's great. We're still here and excited. Dunk is staggering from all the injuries he's received as Arian makes sounds of pain on his back. Makar gets his dad rage on. Awesome. His dad rage is on, but he is 2 versus 1 by Baylor and Lionel and still remains standing as 2 fully armored knights force him back. What a beast. Damn right. 26-36. Arian is still rolling in the dirt and making pathetic sounds of pain, and I could watch this for a whole episode, HBO. Me too, good sir. Me too. Dunk is punch drunk and staggers around, unable to capitalize on his advantage, then falls on his ass. Arian tries to get Dunk to yield as Dunk's ears ring, and then he passes out. Arian gets up and thinks Dunk is dead, calling for the end of the fight. At 28:45, as Dunk screams that Dunk isn't down, wait! Dunk manages to slowly get to his feet with his sword as Arian turns with the look of someone who really doesn't want to be fighting this guy anymore. He turns the visor down on his helmet and, in the only sign of decency in the entire season, does a weird salute with his sword. I need to double check on that. The 2 battered knights stagger towards each other. Dunk is concussed, but Arian's leg is seriously effed up and he's barely able to hobble towards Dunk. A brief exchange of blows ends with Arian's sword caught on Dunk's shoulder armor. Then Dunk uses his sword to bind Arian, grapple him to the ground, intercept his shield strike, steal his shield, and beat him to hell with it before opening Arian's visor and pummeling him with his gauntleted fist. Arian rightly decides this is the time to give up. At 30:35, Dunk sees Stefan and Raymond still fighting it out. Yeah, so look for that if you wanted to see the apples going at it. With Raymond taking a page from Dunk's book and tackling Stefan to the ground after landing a few blows. Now we know which one is the hard cider and which one is the soft. I love this guy. 30 minutes and 48, the 2v1 of Makar versus Lionel and Baylor continues tragically. Baylor presses his advantage with a leg cut to Makar's back as he attacks Lionel, followed by a solid strike to his armored back. He's clearly not trying to hurt him. My man. Makar reflexively spins with his mace to strike his unseen opponent and delivers a blow he'll regret for the rest of his life. And then, according to this guy, he says the MVP of each team, Team Arian, Makar, absolutely. In the first or second pass, he unhorses his own brother, a noted jouster, Baylor Breakspear, and later unhorses Lionel Baratheon, who had remained mounted longer than anyone else we saw. He then manages to hold off both these talented knights by himself. It's entirely possible he might have won if the fight had continued, especially considering his last strike on Baylor knocks him to the ground. No wonder he's constantly annoyed. Imagine being able to fight Baylor with a +1 to a standstill or victory and always getting overlooked. After Makar, it's probably the Kingsguard who spent several minutes fighting Lionel Baratheon in a mounted duel. Let me check here. It is Unlocking Lore. Yay, hello. We love Night of the Seven Kingdoms here. Team Dunk. A toss-up between Dunk and Baelor. With Raymond an honorable mention. Baelor isolated Maekar from most of the fight and wasted the time of the Kingsguard by forcing them to avoid him. True. Without that, the day would have been lost. Their side had 2 deaths in the first pass, and 3 of their members are under-equipped, lacking experience, or both. Dunk, a completely green knight and self-admitted poor jouster, fought a castle-trained knight while suffering a lance in his gut, a concussion, and not only a solid mace hit from a mounted Maekar, but a second lance strike from Stefan. For a significant part of the brawl with Arian, he has no weapon. Despite that, he physically overwhelms Arian multiple times, and the only reason he doesn't end the trial sooner is how much interference he receives, and some ridiculous luck for Arian, especially that sword throw landing. Raymond is a green squire with less armor than anyone, but maybe Riesling, because he's crazy, and somehow manages to last longer on his horse than at least one member of the King's Guard. MVP, definitely. What a beast. A little beast. Assuming Stefan is the least capable member of the opposing team, since Darren is actively throwing the match and Arian is castle trained by the best in the kingdom. Raymond, by his own admission, previously wasn't his cousin's equal, but is one of the 2 members of Team Dunk to be left relatively uninjured by the end, even after a devastating lance strike during the trial. When it happens, you can see his body go nearly horizontal from the force, but he remains in his saddle. It's not even that Lionel did badly. It's just that everyone on Dunk's team performed heroically. And this is from a Reddit. And who is the person here? I want to give him all the credit. EASTALEPH. So that's who I was reading from there. I think that's a great rundown of the battle. 2 thumbs up. Gosh darn it. And then Steely Pate comes out and Raymond, they catch my little boy Duncan after that little piece of shit yields. Then little egg comes running too. Just break my heart. And then the whole, I'm your man, please. I mean, he gets up on his knees for crying out loud. And when I was watching it with my sister and bro-in-law, they were not spoiled. They didn't know. They hadn't read any of it. They just watched the Game of Thrones TV show. And my sis, when he said the visor's broken, she went, oh no, dude's got a head injury. And then when he turned and you saw his skull, I'm glad the way they did it and not too graphically, and just falls. And Duncan's going, please, I'm sorry, get up. The same thing, up, because it seemed to work before. They were able to get people up before. But no. So can we all just take a moment and cry? Let us cry, Precious. Let us cry. Oh, and he didn't get up. 2 thumbs up. 12 thumbs up. 500 million thumbs up. The only thing that could have made this better is if, as everyone's been saying, they showed us even more. But screw you, HBO. Maybe you'll learn your lesson. Or maybe they won't. I hope they don't do any more of that crap. No more interference. We've had enough. We have had enough. My gosh. But despite all of that, what an episode. What an episode. How about y'all in the chat? Anything else that you wanted me to bring up or that I haven't already? It was mentioned about how he's not a knight, and for some reason, I don't know. It really isn't an argument, to be honest. Most people agree that he was not knighted officially. But did he become a knight? Is he a knight? He absolutely is, because the whole thing is like, you know them by their deeds. But just a few things out here. Like right after himself, after he dies, at the very beginning, we have Dunk thinking to himself, I could find another hedge knight in need of a squire to tend his animals and clean his mail. Now, if he had already become a knight, he could not squire again. That would be dishonorable. Or I might go to some city, to Lannisport or King's Landing, and join the city watch. or else. Duh, duh, duh. What is or else? Or else pretend he was a knight and go to the tourney. So that's evidence number one. The fact that right after he buries him, he's thinking, well, I could maybe go squire for somebody else. And then the or else. I wish I came up with all this by myself, but you could just also read it and it's pretty clear. Oh, what's my knife? And then the other one is when he says, when he's going up to the dude, what's his name? Plumber, is that his name? To enroll. He goes to Ashford Meadow and he's asked, are you a knight? Show didn't help itself by having that guy just being gross and spitting, and we didn't need that. We didn't need that one little bit. But here we go. This is on page 27 of my edition. Are you a knight? Dunk nodded, wondering if his ears were red. A knight with a name, perhaps? So his ears go red. That's the first time, I guess, he seemed embarrassed. Why were his ears going red? And then he says, well, I was squire to Sir Arlen of Penetry. He knighted me before he passed with his own sword. He always said he meant for me to be a knight as he was. Then he was dying. Then when he was dying, he called for his long sword and bade me kneel. He touched me once on my right shoulder and once on my left and said some words. And when I got up, he said I was a knight. Now, that's him telling the tale. That's not him from his internal monologue. But then after that, he's saying, I could go and be a squire for somebody else. If he was truly knighted, would he have said so? And his ears were red when he's doing this, which indicates a lie. Now, what else kind of a lie do we have? Well, let's see. It's over here. When he is talking to Egg after everything goes to hell in a handbasket. And he's in jail. He's talking to Egg, and he's saying to Egg, confronting them. Rather, is it here? This is here. Yeah. My uncle must say that I must forgive you, or beg your forgiveness, rather. And he's explaining, Darren shaved off his hair. He meant for us to hide until the tourney was over. Only then you took me for a stable boy, and I didn't care if Darren fought or not, but I wanted to be somebody's squire. I'm sorry, sir, I truly am. Dunk looked at him thoughtfully. He knew what it was like to want something so badly that you would tell a monstrous lie just to get near it. What monstrous lie? Yeah, so he has told a monstrous lie. And then later when he's lying in the mud on his back, when Raymond wants him to knight him, he's like, knight me. Frowning, Dunk moved a hand to the hilt of his longsword. Raymond, I should not. And then Baratheon's like, any knight can make a knight. Do you doubt my courage? Raymond said. No, not that, but still he hesitated. And then he was saved by the bell, if you will. And then Dunk left them there feeling as relieved as he was guilty. So he's feeling guilty. Now, some of those things could be interpreted many different ways if we didn't have all of the other evidence. This is a very short work, and every word means something. And then when he's lying on his back and all that, he's like, I failed them. I failed everybody, Prince Baelor and the rest. I failed them. I'm no champion. I'm not even a hedge knight. So that's just some thoughts there. Some evidence from the book to clarify what someone had said earlier about him not being a knight is pretty much understood. But is he a knight? Hell yes. And if he wasn't a knight, he became a knight through that, like a baptism of blood. I'm on chapter 6 of COT, making progress. Well, that's great to know. Great to know. Thank you. Good. We'll eventually do some more reviews. And of course, I will be doing more Wheel of Time. Just bear with me because obviously this is what has taken my heart and elevated it and made it special. And I love it. I love it more than life itself. It is so good. So, yes, this whole episode, is it a 10 out of 10? No, it's a 20 out of 10. I've said that before. It is amazing. I've gone through the review. I've given my reasoning why I'm just pretending something didn't happen, and I'm able to do that. So, objectively speaking, if we have to pretend it existed, it would be a 5 out of 10. It's like, don't make people put in stuff they don't want to put in. And maybe now Ira has the capital. He has the wherewithal. I mean, he has made a very profitable show for HBO. But the whole budget was 9 million. And what for perhaps one of the most viewed and the most critically acclaimed of all of the Song of Ice and Fire adaptations. And I mean, people are losing their minds in the very best of way. Again, we want to cheer, and these are the best stories. And what makes these stories even better, they don't have to end. We don't need to see the end. Like, for example, you can take the Hedge Knight and then be done. You can read the next one and then be done, and the next one and be done. It works that way. And they have such a perfect cast. Such a perfect cast. I wish I felt the same. Ha ha ha. You mean about it being a 20 out of 10? Yeah. Well, hey, it's objective, unless you're talking about Wheel of Time, or rather subjective to a certain degree about how you feel about it. Again, I have this marvelous amnesia I'm able to get the same way I feel about Disney Star Wars and that the EU is the real story after the Return of the Jedi. It's the same idea that I'm able to just get amnesia. I've gotten amnesia. As I said earlier, I was on the plane and I did nothing but watch that episode over and over again with just it being the story without the flashback. And it is magnificent. The score is magnificent. I'm really loving it. It really is a lot of fun when something takes your heart, grabs your heart when you're not expecting it. I went into this with a little bit of skepticism. I barely even watched any of the previews. I reread the book, The Hedge Knight, and loved it. Remembered why I loved it. But at the end of the day, I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. Yes, we know that George said it was great, but you know what? He's kind of like the first season of House of the Dragon, which was very flawed. It had great moments. Half of the Dragon season 1 was great. It's just really not good writing when you really mess up the leads. Can you imagine how if they had written Rhaenyra really the way she was supposed to be? There were glimpses of her in season 1, the Rhaenyra that we know. But yeah, I should watch Primal. Yeah, I've heard about that. Oh, wait, you were the one that told me. You were the one that told me about that. But this is good. And I think if we're loud enough, maybe they'll listen. They listen to money. They listen to acclaim. If they keep this up, it will be really, really good. But just the fact that they've got George R.R. Martin behind them and that Ira, whether he is sucking up or whatever, I don't care, but he is very faithful. They just keep saying faithful, 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 and it is faithful. The part that is not, you can just really tell when HBO comes in with their hand. Hopefully they'll change that, but again, I can get amnesia when something is mostly amazing. I am gonna make my Dunk doll. I have a pattern. I was able to nab it. May not still be available anymore because now that everyone's eyes are on these things that maybe HBO will clamp down, but yes, I was able to get a Dunk pattern, and I'm gonna do an egg and many other because I love it. A pity that or a shame that Hollywood continually learns the wrong lessons. Darn right. But you know what? They can just piss off. Just go. Be miserable. But man, when something good comes along, boy, will I just love it, eat it up. And I am. When's the last time for me that I can think of where I was really looking forward to something? Maybe it was with the premiere of House of the Dragon season 2, where I thought they were like, okay, now we're just going to do it right. And they punted on blood and cheese. And I'm like, okay, it's done. This is done. And it just was one disaster after the other. But this, no. every week. Been looking forward to it. How did I explain it to a family member? I said, come 9 o'clock, we're pressing play. And the only thing that will be a proper excuse is if the Lord Jesus Christ comes back. And I mean that literally. That is the only excuse that will work. Anything else? Nope. We're pressing play. But in any case, enjoy it. Love it. Let them know. That's how I feel. It makes me feel good, and it makes everyone else feel good. I'm going to be getting out a cello. I need to steal it from my nephew again to even play some of that music. I mean, maybe I'll post it. I don't know. It's so good. But it's going to be a while before I'm going to be back home where I'll be able to do that. But if you're in chat, and I see you all, we got 10 in the chat. Yay, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you are here. Please make yourself known if you're so inclined. Let me know what you think of the episode. What's your favorite part? Who is the MVP according to you? Of course, to me, the MVP will always be Baylor and Dunk. Well, and Egg. And Lionel Baratheon. The Laughing Storm. All of them are the MVPs. Even Makar is the MVP. What a guy. Too bad he killed his brother in the middle of all of this, but he seems to learn the right lessons from it. There was a throwaway line, blink and you miss it, when someone's like, give him a break. His 2 sons are missing. So he's so grumpy during most of the season because his brother lost his youngest brother. He knows that Darren's a drunk, but it's like, man, this is a kid. Are they dead? And what did he do? Like, how irresponsible. How irresponsible. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let me, because I had my perfect soccer flop on my bookmarks on my X here. Someone says, yeah, Night of the Seven Kingdoms is a show that's just built differently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I thought it would shut up all the people that want to be idiots and try to pit it against other fantasy, but apparently no. But it's all clickbait because I know that people are doing this. They're not doing it out of ignorance anymore, so I'm just kind of done with it. Let me see. How do you get to your stupid chat? I'm not usually here on my computer. Oh, look, there I am. Trial of 7. Pancake Tuesday. Oh, while we're thinking about it, everybody needs to have pancakes tonight. Yeah, and I'm going to have ice cream. I'm going to have all the things I shouldn't have. Here it is. I found the perfect gift. Can I make this bigger? You sons of bitches. Pinned to my profile. Oh, you sons of... I'm really cranky that, I don't know, whatever they've done to X, but it's making things obnoxious. Here we go. I will get to your comment here in a second. Because I want to share before I forget. Yeah, things are already crazy here. So here we are. Here's Darren in the Trial of the 7. I love it. Okay, I'm cracking myself up now. Flopping like a World Cup person. There we are. All right, let me close it. What does Phil say? Iron Faith, Phil. Why, hello. So Steeg was right about Ballerina. I give it a 10, really. Best $6 movie you can get. Oh, excellent. Well, Steeg usually is right, and it makes me sick. But when he's right, he's right. Except 1 or 2 times. It happens. But what's cool about him is he will admit when he's wrong. But I might end up having to watch Ballerina. They have it on the airplane, but again, I was too busy rewatching the Trial of the 7. There's loads of 7s in it. Now, of course, no one invented the number 7. That 7 means things, the 7 gods and all that. But when you talk about the Trial of 7, one thing that did strike me, I'm not entirely sure that Martin meant to do this. Probably not, maybe. But isn't it a coincidence that there's 7 trials of Jesus during the Passion? 7 trials. Maybe I'll do that during Catholic Explaining on my other channel. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, says General Grievous 19. Another Seven Kingdoms show is so good. Episode 5 was amazing, in my opinion. I agree. To me, it's a 20 out of 10. A 20 out of 10. Thank you for being here. I do have memberships, everyone. So if you're interested in becoming a Muser of House Rose, please go ahead. It's only 99 cents a month, and you will get a shout out. Speaking of which, I better fulfill my shout outs and things and, support. Right now, I just don't feel like I can have higher tiers because I want to be able to offer something for the price, and I definitely do appreciate you all for it. And who do I appreciate? Why, it's Norda Poopus Cooper. Thank you for being a member. It's Deeple 101. It is Sean Sue. And here we are, Salty Traveling Sea. And that's the other thing. Another perk is that I will be sharing your links eventually with some of my videos. I will, of course, also be putting that in the credits. But right now, oh shit. Oh, sugar. Oh, darn. I didn't mean to do that. But luckily, it wasn't anything horrendous. Let me put it up here. So if you are Salty Traveling Sea, I want to thank you for being a member. Much appreciated. And Prophet of the Dragon, you also get your link shared here. He's got some good Wheel of Time content. We did a whole casting thing in Wheel of Time. There will be more Wheel of Time content. Just stay tuned. There will be more Wuthering Heights. There will be more Harry Potter, and the Sworn Sword is going to be happening. There we are. Thank you. And like I said, what was your favorite part? As far as the actual battle part, I just got to say the whole thing. Okay, I got to chop it up. My favorite Dunk part was when Dunk just was beating the shit out of Arian with the sword when he went full flea bottom on him. That was my favorite Dunk part. My favorite other part was the 2 versus 1 with Stefan, rather with Lionel and Baelor and Makar. Makar holding them off, but sadly we all know what that ended up being. My favorite part of the whole thing was, of course, my man dying. It was so tragic, but also the whole, "You're a man, please, you're a man." I'm like, I'm gonna cry. Wait, did Prophet of the Dragon show up? It did not. Here we go. There's Prophet of the Dragon. So sub to them, please do. Coming up on Lent, today is Pancake Tuesday, so there's going to be lots of content over there. And if you are going to be eating pancakes and celebrating for the day before Lent, before Ash Wednesday, show your pictures or talk about it in community posts. Maybe I'll put something out. Let me find the channel. Will they let me? Yes, they will. I don't know if I'm going to be on with Sporking tonight talking about it. If so, that's where we'll also be. But I'll be talking about it everywhere. You know why? Because I'm obsessed. There you go. If you want the Catholic content, that is Catholic Explaining. I'm trying to get the watch hours to get the monetization. So if you are so inclined, just help me out there. I've got lots of playlists where you can. I'll just leave it at that. So, oh my gosh, with 8 people here, thank you so much for being here. It is such a pleasure talking about what I love, and I will be posting my Dunk doll and my egg doll. I just can't wait when I get them done. I'm finishing up getting the correct yarn. Right now, I am caregiving those, so hopefully I'll be able to talk with you all in the morning because it's going to be so cool and so epic, and the sun is out. Got sea air. I'm going to be reading some more of my Dritz books. Everyone should be reading good material. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this party because my throat is getting a little scratchy and I need to look after my throat because it's part of my job. But yes, stay tuned if I do get hold of a cello. I won't get hold of a cello for another 10 days. I'm going to see what I can do. I've got a guitar, though. Guitar. Maybe I can play it on guitar. Wouldn't that be sad? Okay. So we have Revanite 12. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Revanite Nerdporial, thank you for being here. And everyone, please subscribe to Nerdporial. We also have oh my gosh, I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, Sonder DAXEX. If I didn't say it right, let me know. We have Bourbon Wolfswood. We have Liam M528, the General Grievous, Iron Faithful, and more. All of you in the background. Thank you. I definitely appreciate you being here and being part of the chat and commenting. But definitely, please watch it the way I suggest, especially if you didn't like the flashback, which doesn't exist, by the way. Just skip. Just skip if you can edit it properly, and it is thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. Oh, Liam says, I like how it was shot through Dunk's helmet. Yes. You get a sense of all the chaos with only being able to focus on a small part. Yeah, I don't even know how anyone used to do it, but I guess you would train, but you have no peripheral vision. You can barely see. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And it also shows you when you get 14 beasts of men just kicking the shit out of each other. Hell, maybe we should do that nowadays. Solve all our problems with trial by combat. I'd be up for it. So good to see such positive masculinity that we see. This is what women want. What chicks want that. Yes, they're not objectively hot. Well, maybe Dunk is, but it was hot what they were doing. That's what makes it. The fact that they're honorable, a man defending his son, Baylor being Baylor. Excellent, excellent stuff. It makes me want to watch some Shakespeare, but I do not have time for that. I also get the Hedge Knight, the graphic novel. That's really well done. I think that they definitely used it as references. I don't know if he made it to the credit. So for the art by Mike S. Miller, I had the pleasure of meeting him at a con and he signed my copy. Yes, he did. What a guy. He didn't even charge me. I offered to pay him and he wouldn't let me pay him. What a guy. Actually, I think he needs your prayers. I think he has some health issues, but definitely how it was shot through Dunk's helmet. Gosh, was that cool. Yes, and all of you that are watching, if you have not liked, shared, and subscribed, please help me out here. I would love to get to 1,200. I really want to get to Henry V. I like to go by the year. Right now, I am with Richard the Ironheart, Richard the Lionheart. But let's keep going through history and get to the cool stuff. Yeah, a lot of crusades action happening. Or get me to the Black Plague. Wouldn't that be epic? That would be. So that's going to be it. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain to watch the Trial of 7 straight through and pretend nothing else existed.